Hello, my name is Brayden Husky.
And I'm Austin Morales, and you're watching The Inner Gamer On.
And today we'll be talking about Cyberpunk 2077's new Nightwire stream, in which they talked about the 3 life paths you can go through in this game that have a lot of impact on the gameplay, as well as the gun customization, both from the types of guns as well as the attachments and some of the customization software updates you can put on your guns. It's really, really cool, really exciting. We can't wait for this game, and we're here to talk about all these updates right now.
And as always, if you enjoyed this content, please like, subscribe, and bang that bell. And you know you want to, because all you subscribers, thank you so much.
Speaking of Cyberpunk, they had another one of their events. They had another one of their Night City Wires. It wasn't as boring as the first one because the first one spent too much time on Braindance. Yes. This one went into the different life paths that you can do, and also dove into the guns and how they all operate. And they also had a little bit right in the middle of it where they talked about how they're working with this band to write music to play. That will be what Johnny Silverhand played, because Johnny Silverhand is in a band in the game. Nice. And he plays rock music. So they hired this European band to play American music inside of a game. Super funny, but
so cover band, huh?
Yeah,
that's funny.
So hearing them talk about their creation of writing music for a band that's not their nationality and all this different stuff in a virtual game was very interesting. But this game continues to blow me away with how are they going to pull this off in every sense of the word, because the visuals and just the level of production quality in every aspect of this game is beyond belief. And they just brought out Game Informer. Are you still subscribed to them? Do you still get their magazines?
No. Oh yeah, I do. But
okay.
I hardly read them.
Okay.
I just like them for the covers.
Yeah. So did you see the latest cover with Cyberpunk?
No, maybe.
It has a yellow border on it, and it's got one of the characters sitting at a bar.
Yes.
And there's a QR code in the corner. Did you use the QR code?
No.
So this is an augmented reality cover. And so if you have the cover, you take your phone over top of it and it pulls up a link. And when you hover your phone over top of it, you can move the cover around and see behind people. And then there's contextual information that pops up on the screen. So it's just this nice crossover tie-in experience. And it's just very simple, but it's just a really neat look into it. But I read that full cover story.
That's cool.
And it talked about just again, how crazy this game is and how involved it is. And they were talking about one scenario where they went into a situation where there was they found out through research or something that there was a virus that was on these things that they were about to buy from this guy. And the guy was or whoever it was they were going to go buy it from him fair and square. And the guy was no, it's double price now. So you got to pay double price, or you shoot the guy, or you back out of the deal, or there's all these different things you can do to approach it. And they describe what happens with these situations. And it's crazy, how different the scenarios turn out. For example, one of them was, if you just pay the price and take it, you spend a shit ton of money. If you kill the guy, then something else happens. But there's a part where you can there's a big ass boss battle that's super hard if you take one path. But if you don't take that path, you don't ever fight the boss. So it's a weird twist of things that there's so much it's Detroit Become Human, but in a full RPG. I'm how do they pull this off? It's crazy. But they have these life paths that are in the game. When there's 3 life paths you can choose from, you have Street Kid, Corporal Rat, and Nomad. And Street Kid is somebody who's grown up on the streets his entire life inside Night City. And so he knows the streets, he knows the players, he knows the fixers, he knows all these different people. So he's got an in to the underground of the city. Then you have the Corporal Rat, who starts as a corporate person. And then so they have power and knowledge and relationships with people in high places. So that's vastly different from your Street Kid environment. And then you have the Nomad, who has never been in the city, lives outside in the Badlands. And then your goal at the beginning of the game is to get into the city and then start your deal. So you have these 3 completely different paths that basically change the course of the first 30, 45 minutes of your game. And then we'll have different outcomes based throughout the game based on your relationships and different things that you would go through. And have you watched these videos on how these different paths are laid out?
Yeah, I did.
Which one are you gravitating toward right now?
Probably Nomad.
How come?
But honestly, they all look great. Just because of the story, I think it'd be kind of cool to go like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, all of them look awesome. They're all very unique, and I want to play them all, especially the consequences of your actions that you have to do with each of those.
Yeah.
You know, they affect the story. So it's just like, well, how is it? Basically, it's Mass Effect again for me, because like the first one, I played it so many times and try to do everything, even if it, like, you know, I'd be the good guy for 3 times in a row and see where that led me, then be bad guy, and try to be normal or you know, the center point in the good and bad stuff,
right?
Or neutral is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And just really, I'm excited for all of
them. Yeah. Yeah, that's how I felt too. Is like I wanted to play Nomad as well, because I just like this idea of being on the outskirts and like having to get into the city, because I feel like the city's gonna be such a big part of the game that I want to kind of like see what's on the outside, and then be super excited once I finally get in there.
Yeah.
But I hear people I've been listening to on like podcasts that have played it and like, you know, gone through the different paths and stuff like that. A lot of them are leaning Street Kid because they feel like they're gonna have the best like connections, you know, amidst like the underbelly of the city. And some are like corpo rap, but like nobody wants to play the Nomad. I'm like, I think the Nomad's cool because the Badlands just looks different.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have alluded to GTA and how it like sounds like GTA, where it's like you have the 3 paths you can pick from, and like you have one who was what was it, Trevor, that was in the outskirts. So it's like that kind of same idea. I never thought about that, but it's definitely kind of similar in a way.
Yeah.
That they're basically building kind of a GTA 6, 5. Whatever GTA was, last one.
Yeah, 5.
Who knows?
So GTA 6.
Yeah, GTA 5.
GTA 6 future.
So there was that they talked about. They also talked about the weapons and the types and stuff like that. And that was really cool to see, because we haven't really dove deep into like what the weapons are and how the modifications work in the game. And they really they have 3 types of guns that you can play that change up your play style. So there is power weapons, which are basically just like badass traditional, like super powerful, like shoot regular bullets kind of weapons that you can run around in. Then they have tech weapons that are high-tech railguns using magnets to propel heavy rounds at high velocity to punch through walls with lethal force. So they're going to be like your more advanced kind of, you know, things that require different types of ammo. And then there's smart weapons that are fire-guided projectiles that can track targets on their own. So basically you just like shoot bullets and they just like find the target and kill them.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. So it's interesting to see if you just go and watch a gameplay trailer of this, like you get to see a lot of the guns being in use and how the gameplay style changes with the different, like you can use this gun for this type or this gun for this type situation. And I mean, you can customize everything with mods like attachments, which are things like scopes and silencers that change the look of your weapon, as well as software mods that alter the guns like fire rate, damage type, etc.
Yeah.
And then there's even rarities of these guns with common, uncommon, rare, and legendary. So it's like there's so many pieces of stuff that comes into play for just your guns.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy fuck.
I'm curious to see how it all pans out, because I mean, we've seen this before where it's like, look at all this cool stuff, we got this and that. It looks like a plethora of things, and it's just like, oh, it's just like a few of these. You know,
it's kind of like surface level.
Yeah,
when you get down to it.
Yeah, it's just not many guns. And I mean, even the dev said some of these higher powered guns, like really special weapons, you have to kill someone for them, otherwise you just don't get them.
Yeah, you don't ever
so
see
you
it.
have to like make that decision. Do you want to kill them for this gun, or do you want to just go in with what you got? That should probably be the case for most of them.
Yeah,
just going with, you know, casual gun.
Yeah, it does allow for a lot of expandability and just like interesting gameplay. And like I like the idea of like having to make that choice. It's like, well, you got this guy, it could be your friend, or it could be somebody you can just get a badass legendary gun off of.
Right.
Is that worth the risk? Especially like how often you get guns, like how like is it gonna be like akin to Borderlands, where there's like guns all over the place, or is it more, which I doubt it's gonna be that way, it's gonna be more like guns are kind of a rare, I mean, there's going to be a lot of like the basic shitty ones, but like finding the really good ones, I feel like you're gonna have to work hard for them.
Yeah.
So,
but what I remember, well, you know, they said this is going to be as long as The Witcher 3, which took around 50 to 60 hours, right?
Or even longer, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, I think completionist was like 102 hours roughly.
Fuck. Damn it.
But I mean, with these 3 different ways to tackle the story,
you're looking at 150 hours probably.
Let's just say it's 30 hours long to complete one of these campaigns. Well, that's already 90 hours of gameplay you can get out of that.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, not even discussing the side quests they'd probably have and different little things. I mean, this could be kind of like The Witcher again. I feel like, even though the story ain't that long, but there's still a lot of stuff to see and do in this world.
Well, it might be that long. We don't know.
That's true. It could be only 20 hours.
It could be as long as The Witcher.
Well, they said it's not going to be as long as The Witcher.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. Putting these 3 different paths together makes it as long, if not longer, than The Witcher, depending on what you're able to do and how it actually affects different stuff. But I mean, once you get one playthrough, you kind of know what you kind of want to try out next.
Yeah.
I feel like. And then, I don't know.
Well, I'm excited too because like if they build this world right, like there's a lot of room. Like one thing I was really bummed about with GTA 5 is that they put so much effort into the multiplayer that they didn't have what they had in GTA 4, which is really badass DLC content that was in the same world but was a very different experience. Like they had the biker gang DLC that was really cool, and I enjoyed that part of it. I think Cyberpunk has a lot of potential to do what they did with The Witcher, putting out really amazing DLC that adds a whole different spin on
at least 10
a
hours
beautiful world they already
of gameplay.
Created. Yeah,
that's a lot
or more. I mean, like what was that one you played, the last one DLC that they brought out? That was like
it was Blood and Wine.
Yeah, wasn't that like 30 or 40 hours, something like that?
No, it was like 10 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like $10.
Maybe it was completionist. That was like 30 or 40.
Yeah, it was
like
$10 and you got 10 hours of gameplay.
It's crazy.
Yeah. That was like, that's the best dollar deal ever.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the other thing about this game is like the value of the game. Like if there's 90 hours of content here, it's like, is it worth $60? Should it be more? I mean,
exactly.
It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Damn.